Somebody on the Cal Fire said that they don't want no inmates using their showers. That's why we have to walk all the way around, and then we just got turned around when we were just gonna go shower. We still ain't showered yet.
Oh, in that one shower unit way over there?
Yeah.
Wow. They took our unit. Remember it was right here?
Yeah, they took our unit and then told us that they don't want no inmates in their showers, so we still haven't showered yet. So those guys messed up. Got tell them to donate us our own mobile shower unit. That way we don't have to go this. I'm off of 24 just from yesterday. Still ain't showered or been to sleep today.
Wait, the fact that they don't have their own mobile showers, like, what the fuck? A state like California that likes to boast about how progressive we are and all the things that we do that's great for humanity, that's kind of insane that they don't have showers for people that are quite literally hiking for hours up in tough terrain and fighting these intense fires. Like, can you imagine the amount of sweat and must on you? Like, that's the bare minimum is food, shower, and lodging, and a bathroom. And they can't even give that. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ariana Jasmine, and today we're going to be talking about Hasan Piker going into the field and interviewing inmate firefighters. It's something that I have personally never seen mass media do since I have been content creating and or working in news. I have a journalism degree and I haven't seen anything like this, so I'm really excited to talk about it and react to it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment for more content like this, and let's get into it. If you would really like to support me, you can subscribe to my Substack. It's free and I publish articles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you would really like to support me, you can subscribe monthly for only $5, the cost of a cup of coffee. Go to the link in this video's caption, www.arianajasmine.com, to subscribe. It only takes a couple of minutes and you'll really be supporting me and my journey as a content creator. All right, let's get into this video.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on our way to the Rose Bowl right now, where we are going to be linking up with a new friend of the show. His name is Scott. He's a producer, and he's also a recidivism activist. We're going to be linking up with him because he is going to be feeding some of the firefighters that have been working tirelessly around the clock in combating all the wildfires that have been taking place in Los Angeles. So far, the last death toll that I saw was around 10, with more than 10,000 structures that have been burned to the ground. Obviously, this is one of the most impactful wildfires, certainly the most devastating wildfire in California history. And one of the lesser known aspects of combating wildfires in the state of California is the fact that the California state relies sometimes upwards of 30% of the firefighting force at any given point during wildfire season. California state relies on inmates, incarcerated firefighters.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it simply for you. If it wasn't for incarcerated firefighters and or inmate firefighters, California would not be able to fight the fires, point blank, period. Traditional firefighters are very expensive. They have pensions, they have unions, and we just don't have enough firefighters in the workforce to be able to fight the fires at the velocity that they come in. So without inmate firefighters, California would not be able to fight them, and they wouldn't be able to actually make any kind of meaningful progress in the amount of time that they need to. So that's why prison firefighters are so crucial to the complex of what it takes to fight a fire in California and actually be successful at it. And a lot of people don't really recognize that.
Some of these incarcerated firefighters make $5 to $10 a day according to publicly available data. Some of them makes upwards of $26 a day. Now, obviously, these numbers are incredibly low. They are incarcerated. It's a valuable training program, and until recently, they had no opportunity to join a full-time, staffed, employed fire department. Since I believe 2022, there have been initiatives to expunge their record if they have any drug offenses, or if they have any sort of felony on their record. They're incarcerated. They must have it expunged in order to be able to get EMT training, which is a requirement to become a California firefighter. They still, as far as I understand, cannot join municipalities unless it's like a super rare instance. We're going to be talking to these guys. They're still technically in prison, but for the time being, they're out of prison and at the Rose Bowl in the staging area, you know, after a long day, sometimes 12-hour shifts or even longer, combating wildfires, clearing out brush. So we're going to go talk to them about their experiences and what their day-to-day looks like, and hopefully help people understand that the incarcerated population are human too. Now, of course, this sounds really silly when I say it, but unfortunately, it's something that must be said, because in the United States of America, we have one of the most draconian prison structures, one of the worst carceral states on the entire planet. 25% of the entire planet's prisoner population despite only making up 4% of the entire planet's population. A quarter of the imprisoned people on this planet behind bars are in the United States of America. Even in one of the, on paper, most successful reintegration initiatives, this is a very valuable training structure and allowing prisoners to experience dignity and actually give back to their communities. It still seemingly is used as a way to basically have a servile, indentured servant population. Slavery as you...
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think this is just kind of slavery, but putting a new twist to it. California knows how deeply they need these inmate firefighters, and they know that having to pay them a livable wage would cost a lot of money, so therefore they keep them at a low wage. But you know what, if they kept them at such a low wage but there was guarantee that they would be able to find a firefighter job once they got out of the prison, and they were bridged into some sort of program that could allow them to get housing and be able to work as a firefighter, even if it was part-time, I would be like, okay, you know what, this sucks, I'm not fully in support of it, but at least there's some sort of program that they can bridge into when they're out of prison that's successful and doesn't force them to go back into the prison system because they don't have any other option. But we don't have that.
You know, is constitutionally protected under the 13th Amendment. Slavery as a mechanism of punishment is perfectly permissible, allowed, and still exists in the United States of America in many states, including California. California, as a matter of fact, had a ballot initiative in the last election, the general election that we just had, where they overwhelmingly voted to preserve slavery as a form of punishment in the state constitution. I'm joined, of course, by Caroline Kwan.
So I just want to make something clear. I did make a reel about that when that prop failed, and a lot of my followers said that they were confused by the wording of that prop. And so I think it's very easy to just say, oh, people in California, they voted for slavery, when it's like there's a lot of systemic issues that go into this, right? People look at the little block of description that's written on their ballot, they make their choice right then and there, and then they just go about their day not knowing that they would have been able to completely shift a quote workforce. It's really slavery, but they could have completely shifted that into something more humane and, you know, well-paying.
On Marchie Poo, and also my very own volunteer firefighter engineer extraordinaire Marat Piker on this wonderful journey. Thank you guys so much for coming.
So the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, that's a group that works with these incarcerated firefighters who we are going to go talk to. They currently have a fundraiser to raise funds for these firefighters after they are released from prison.
What do you want to tell the camera about yourself?
Scott Budnick, movie producer, spent 14 years making The Hangover and Project X and a bunch of stupid shit. Went into juvenile hall, met a bunch of incarcerated kids, and started doing this. And here we are, still making movies, but doing this is what kind of feeds my soul.
And what's the group that you work with predominantly? Like you have a recidivism.
ARC.
Right?
So
ARC.
organization I started. So after I was making comedies, then I did that, and now I'm back in the movie business making movies, but I'm still on the board of ARC and doing this kind of work.
We were supposed to have a meeting
On Friday, and I got evacuated.
That was like not. I didn't even realize that you were doing this thing. We were supposed to have this meeting, and I thought it was like a regular, you know, sometimes producers and stuff like that hit me up. And then Caroline was like, oh, I was doing some research on like incarcerated firefighters, like where to donate and whatnot, because it's something that we talk about quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, there's this guy, Scott Budnick. I was like, I know this name. Where do I know it? It's like, oh my God.
Wait, you figured this out?
Yeah, she's the one.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second, that's crazy
Yeah.
that these two things intersected.
We actually have a mutual.
What's going on, man?
Kimbo, nice to meet you.
You know what makes me really happy is that big ass plate of food in his hand. That big ass plate of good quality food. That's what makes me happy. I know that's like so simple and so small, but I feel like prison food is so bad. The fact that they're getting real food. I mean, I shouldn't even be as happy about it because it should just be a given, but I don't know. Seeing that makes me a little bit happy because I'm like, well, at least you're getting paid good, or at least, excuse me, not paid good. They're not getting paid good. At least you're getting fed well, and you know, you're not still eating prison food, right? I mean, the bar is in hell at this point.
Hello, Hasan.
So
Nice
I
to meet
was
you.
like, oh, this guy. Okay, I think we gotta connect with them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You big Kimbo right here?
Kimbo, you're on Twitch.
What's up with it? How's it going?
So, from what
You
we
guys talk.
understand, Scott was telling us, Scott was giving us the lay of the land here.
Okay.
So you're originally from Juvie, right?
Nah, I'm a youth offender.
You're a
I
youth
caught
offender.
my case at 18.
All the red caps here, in particular, if you can show right there, they're all from. Are you guys all from the same correctional facility?
Yeah, we're all from Growlersburg Fire Camp.
Okay.
We're the Wild Peak Crews.
Okay.
The
So
crews here right now.
these guys went in as juvenile offenders. From what I understand, there's also there's a lot of restrictions in terms of who can do this kind of firefighting as an incarcerated individual. But for you guys, there's a additional opportunity, right? Like even if you went in as a violent offender, if you went into a juvenile facility, you still have the ability to come and get training. What are the benefits of doing something like this?
Okay, we got violent crime, so we got sentenced to a longer time.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to go to high level security yards, real serious stuff going down, real dangerous yards. But with this opportunity with Scott Budnick, he let the guys that got caught up at 18 not have to go do time with like OG lifers and all that. So we got an opportunity to come to fire camp and we get time cuts, so time off our sentence, a bunch of time off our sentence. We're like the highest paid inmates in the whole system.
What's the pay though? It's still pretty low, right?
Yeah, it's still low. I think I get like $180 a month.
That's crazy.
They give you extra when it's during a crisis, right?
Nah, we don't get no extra during no crisis. Not for us. Maybe the free firefighters, but we don't get no extra during the crisis. But there's supposed to be a pay increase.
He's working 24 hours on, 24 hours on, y'all. That's 24 hours fighting a fire back to back to back, not sleeping. I don't know if you guys have ever pulled an all-nighter, but I'm 28. I pulled an all-nighter maybe a couple months ago, and I felt like I was gonna die. Like, respectfully, it took me 3 days to recover from that. So that's wild. Maybe when you're 21, 22, you can pull an all-nighter and be a little bit more better. But doing this at like anywhere after 25, I mean, all-nighters are never good. They're extremely bad for your health. But doing this after a certain age is just gruesome. Gruesome.
In the future, we're supposed to get $5 an hour. That's still low for like people on the street. But for us, we're like, that'll make us like, we'll be doing real well.
Yeah, but you're doing crazy work. You're out here, you said
work.
24 hours in, 24 hours out, right? And then sometimes they do 12 hours in, 12 off, but I mean, what are some of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis out here?
We go in with our tools, we hike a bunch of miles, we're on the mountain, then we grab, we work with our hand tools, you feel me? Yeah. So it's like the hardest job in the firefighting for the wildland, period. It's like, we're like infantry. We're the foot soldiers.
Yeah.
So we're cutting line, we're scraping brush, we're using chainsaws, scraping brush, we're making a path between the fire and the rest of the fuel, the community, the brush. So we make that barrier, we create that barrier with our hand tools, but it takes a long time, it takes hours and hours, and we go where the bulldozers can't get to. You feel me? So we're going tight spaces, real steep, where a bulldozer would like fall.
So there's a lot that goes into fires that I think a lot of people don't know about. I know a little bit more than the average because I used to work in this for a whole year during one of the worst wildfire seasons California saw, period. But basically, a lot of people just think, oh, fighting a wildfire is taking a hose and like spraying it. That's not fighting a fire. There's so much that goes into it. So for example, they call these firefighters hot shots, but usually they're with the forestry. The forestry is like the Fed version of a firefighter. And these hot shots, they would go up in helicopters and they would jump off the helicopter into terrain where cars or people can't access. And so these are like the real deal. They jump off the helicopter, they go into that terrain, and then they fight fires, not with water, but with the same thing that he's talking about, right? They axe and they clear up the scrub and everything, and they try to stop encouraging that fire from continuing to spread. But then there's also other ways that you can work on fire where you can spray retardant on houses. It's like a slush type of chemical mixture, and usually it's red, where they spray it on houses, and then the house usually, or the infrastructure that they spray it on, doesn't go on fire. Some other times it's the truck and the water hose, but most of the times the bulldozers can't go into that terrain. The trucks can't go into terrain. So you either have to hop off a helicopter or you have to hike up. And we're talking about smoky, terrible air quality. You're hiking up for hours. You can't take long breaks because the wildfire depends on your hike up and like what you can do to try to prevent it from spreading. So it's much hard. Like, I feel like people don't really conceptualize how hard the job of a firefighter is, because it's like, it's not all just fun and games where you pull up in your truck and you spray the fire. It's a lot of times it's a lot of hiking. Sometimes you have to jump off a helicopter. Some other times, your bulldozers can't get there, so you have to quite literally clear the area with your hand and an axe or a chainsaw in terrible air quality. Like I said, most of the time this is in the summer too, so it'll be like 99 degrees weather and you're hiking hours in most of the time unwalked territory. So it's not like you're hiking up a trail that's already made for you. You're hiking in unknown territory, right? Where you have to make your own pathway. Like that's just hard as fuck. And I feel like a lot of people don't know in-depth details about it or what firefighting actually entails, specifically when it comes to a wildfire. And they just assume that it's just, oh, you just pull up in your truck and you spray it with water. No, it's way more complex than that.
Well, if we try to go up there, it's crazy. So, yeah, it's crazy stuff. We sleep out there. We get our rest when we can out there on the mountain. It's crazy. Yeah.
So, it gets dangerous too, right?
It's dangerous. Yeah. It's dangerous. I had to dodge rocks sometimes coming down. Dodge them. You feel me? I swear to God, my mama. We got this is crazy, bro. It's crazy. This is dangerous work.
Will you like it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's almost like a respite from being? Is it better than being in prison or no?
It's way better because I was in a prison yard. I'm seeing guys get stabbed, get jumped, get beat up. The cops treat us like shit. But here, we get better treatment, right? They talk to us like humans. They talk to us like humans. We got a job. We're underpaid, but we got a job.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then the community comes out and shows us all kinds of love. We never received that growing up. We never received that kind of love, that kind of recognition for anything we've done. So now, doing this kind of stuff and all this love coming, that's life-changing for a lot of guys. That's all they be needing is a little bit of recognition. With this, it's life-changing, and we get opportunities at careers.
How long was your sentence? You know what I mean?
Damn, he said, we get all this love and a lot of us never got this kind of love. That's sad. That's really sad. I think it just goes to show how successful rehabilitation programs are and how much cheaper it is. Like, how much cheaper is it to just show a prisoner some love? Like, you know, there's so much value in teaching someone a skill and having them go out and do that skill and be successful and show them so much positive reinforcement. That is, not only is it much cheaper on the whole entire system, but it's so much more successful. You never know what kind of a life they've lived, you know what I mean? And just being able to train them in something and have them go out and join the workforce and get positive reinforcement, that can literally change someone's life. And I feel like a lot of people don't think about that.
Man, 17 years.
17 years. Yep. God damn. They're going to shave it off. Yep. They're going to shave it off. They're going to
shave it off. They're shaving some off.
They better shave it off.
But you feel me? We ain't breaking, you know what I mean? We ain't folding. You feel me? 17 years. But now I'm at camp. I got about 2 years left. 2 years left. I had to work a bunch of time off with schooling and graduating high school.
How old are you now?
I'm 25 now. I'm forgetting. I've been down for a minute.
I feel you.
I started at 18, I'm 25 now.
And you got linked up with this program how many years ago?
I got to the fire camp last year. In November, that was the first time any person like with my kind of case, violent crime, was allowed to go to fire camp last year in November. So we're the start of it.
What about for adult defenders? Do you think that it's a good program overall, right? Like, it's like even if it wasn't fighting wildfires, like, do you feel like these kinds of initiatives? You talked about feeling like a human, right? Feeling like a sense of dignity from other people. Do you feel like these kinds of programs, reintegration programs like that, would be successful overall? Like in terms of giving you proper training and giving you tools to one, lower your sentence, give back to the community somehow, and then when you go out, you have, I'm not entirely sure about the wildfire programs in general, but like in general, it's good to have that kind of work experience so you don't feel like your life is lost.
Yeah, it can be successful, but the thing is the pay. The work compared to the pay is like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys get broke off on the mountain, get their body get beat up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if the pay went up, more guys would be more grateful for the opportunity. Yeah. We're grateful for the opportunity.
I mean, it's sad because he was 18. He's in prison now. He's 25. That's what, 7 years. So they better shave some of those years off because that's ridiculous.
All this time, you feel me? We're young, then we're real excited, we're real motivated. So when we get out, we're firefighters. You feel me? We're not running the streets anymore.
Yeah.
But for the adult crews, I mean, it just depends on their motivation. But it's hard work. So if you're lazy, you're not gonna last. You're gonna hate it. But if you're motivated to better yourself, it's gonna work for you as long as you work it.
That's nice to hear from you, man. I don't want to keep you from eating your food.
It's all good, man. It's good, man. It's my 24 down. Appreciate you guys for coming out.
Yeah, nice to meet you, bro.
Xavier, he's down to talk, and then if you guys want to...
Come here. Let's talk. Yo, those are... Does the state give you those?
Yeah. We get them brand new, though.
Those are kind of drippy, dude.
Just a little bit, you know, so you look fly on the mountain.
He said those are kind of drippy, dude. Oh my god, I guess it's good to make light in a situation like this. I'm dead. Those are kind of drippy, dude. I will say, I do love Hasan, and I think a lot of you do know that. Like, I love Hasan, and I do respect him a ton. But I do wish he had a mic, or he was able to mic up the people that he's interviewing, because it is a little hard to hear him, but I'm not one to complain, okay? I'm not. I'm just saying, I wish he did have a mic. It would be a lot easier to hear him.
Something nice.
Yeah. Do you get to keep it? Do you get to keep it has?
Yeah.
Oh, you get to bring it back?
Well, everything, they give us everything. Everything's kind of state issue when you get there. They kind of prepare you for the fires, so that way when you get out there, do what you gotta do.
I'm saying, like, when you go back, do you get to keep them?
I don't think so.
It's crazy.
It's considered an antique.
Yeah,
I don't think he wants to keep that either.
I'm not gonna I'm gonna cop a shoe.
You're like, hey, can I get this?
No, but I did see some jackets there. They're pretty sweet.
All right, bro, chill. We're not gonna take their clothes off their back, bro. They're fucking fighting wildfires
Look,
out
man,
there.
look, we'll give it to you, man. We'll give it to you. It's a donation.
All right. So, how are you guys feeling? Tacos
We're
good?
blessed. We're blessed.
Yeah?
I haven't even tried them yet. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Do you want to eat first?
No, it's all right.
You want to try one?
No, I'm good. I just ate.
No,
I
I'm good,
got
thank
here.
you too.
Wait, okay, can we just take a second how, like, these men are in prison, they're working 24 hours a day for $5 to $10 a day. This is probably one of the only times that they're going to get real food, and they're literally offering it to Caroline and Hasan. Like, that's just so, I don't know, the empath in me wants to cry. They deserve so much more. It really does humble you. It really does. Like, society looks down on prisoners a lot, but for me, it's just like, I don't know what the fuck they've been through, and I just don't feel like it's my place to judge someone that's in prison. Like, I don't know what they've been through. I don't know what happened in their life that set them up for failure. You know what I mean? What if they were in the foster system? What if their parents abandoned them? What if they had to grow up, you know, with parents who were struggling with addiction? Like, I don't know what they went through. And so, you know, I think it's very easy for people on the outside to just look at them and be like, oh, they're in prison, they did something to deserve it. But it's like, no, usually it goes a lot deeper than that.
While you eat, you talk. How about that? And then swap it out.
So, again, Xavier and Angel, for those who
You don't want to eat on camera?
Nah, I gotta go wait.
There's hella ladies watching right now. They're gonna be judging. They're gonna be judging the way you're eating.
No, don't even worry, because he eats on stream, and he cannot be worse.
fucking with you.
He cannot be worse. How you guys doing?
We're blessed. We're blessed. You know, we're taking it all in. We just came down from the mountain yesterday. We were assigned to the Eden Fire. Our division, you know, was meeting up with other crews, doing some hand line. The dozer only goes so far, you know. Our job is really to kind of get in the cracks and crevices where the dozer can go. And when we get out there, we work as a team, you know. This guy is crazy out in the fires, man. This guy goes crazy. This guy goes crazy.
So, let me ask you, how long you guys been training? Like, when did you get started with the program? It's a relatively new one, right?
Yeah, it's relatively new. I mean, fire camps have been around for a while, but as far as for us, you get sent to a training facility before you're even allowed to come to a fire camp. And the training, honestly, will not prepare you for what it really is. You know, it's only a 2-week program. You probably do a couple sets of push-ups, run a mile or so, but yeah, but it's like,
but does not prepare you for the
it's nothing
real
compared
world.
to hiking with a pack on or having to cut line for hours. But yeah, like I said, I mean, you won't be able to really figure out what it's about until you get to a fire camp.
Yeah, that's crazy. They only give them 2 weeks of training to go to a fire as big and as uncontainable as Eaton. That's scary. That's just scary. When you put it into perspective, in order to become a firefighter in California, you must complete a Firefighter 1 Academy and earn Firefighter 1 certificate. 540-hour program that focuses on hands-on skills, takes place on consecutive weekends and weeknights, provides basic firefighting skills and knowledge, certification that contains 3 levels of professional qualifications set by the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA. Some fire departments may prefer candidates with a degree or a certificate in fire science or fire technology. Some departments may also require or prefer candidates with EMT or paramedic training. You may need to pass a physical exam that includes stair climbing and other events. You may need to be bilingual. You have to go through all of this insane terrain in order to become a firefighter. That includes benefits, pay, etc. And by the way, this is for regular firefighting. This isn't for fighting very dangerous and uncontained wildfires. But then these prison firefighters are getting paid $5 to $10 a day, and they're getting trained for 2 weeks. How could you possibly condense a 540-hour training to 2 weeks? That's insanity. That's actually insane. That's basically nothing. That's like, hey, why don't you go run a mile and do some push-ups? All right, we're gonna send you into fucking insane terrain so that you can fight these fires that you basically don't have much training for.
Yeah.
It's a lengthy process. I think these facilities try to imitate the feeling you get when you're on the mountain. You know, the hike can be miles and miles, and you know, you got to carry this water, and your circumstances are subject to change, you know, depending on the winds and how the fire increases over time, you know, and these places really just cannot imitate that emotion, that feeling you get when you're up there, you know. And
Before these fires this week, had you guys fought any fires before, or is this your first?
No, we were just here at the Ventura fire, the mountain fire.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Just recently. So that was our most recent fire. I mean, fire season just passed, so the last couple fires we have caught has been down south.
I mean, this is kind of crazy to be your first
yeah.
experience.
But you know, it feels good to be able to, you know, show the community that we're out there. You know, we're trying to help the community. You know, it's a hard time for everybody. You know, God bless those people that were affected by these fires. You know, coming back and your house is burned down. It's very crazy. You know, it's a very crazy time. But you know, it feels good to be able to help these people in some type of way.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how I don't think a lot of people know that historically 1/3 of California's firefighting force is made up of incarcerated folks, and I think right now it's like 40-something% because of
we're the backbone of the operation.
How drastic this is. Yeah.
There's a lot of you motherfuckers out here.
It's a backbone of the operation, and you know, Cal Fire is kind of just a cover up for it, you know, and we get out there and we do the hard work, you know. But shout out to those people. Those people do work too, you know. But we get the rough and tough end of the stick.
Yeah. Do you guys, like, what do you want people to know about either this program or about just being an incarcerated firefighter in general? Like, is there any, you know, PSA that you want to make? Like, what's something that people probably don't know, considering that a lot of people don't even know that you guys are out here?
I mean, one thing I would want the public to know is just that we're taking advantage of the second chance that we're being given, you know? And this is the opportunity to change our lives, you know, the trajectory of our lives, to be able to get a career once we leave, you know, once we hit the streets. And we're blessed to be in this position, you know? And like you said, a lot of people may not know about it, but we're putting the work in to try to not only better ourselves, but better our communities.
Bro, don't hype it up too much. They're not gonna give you more. They're not gonna give you more money.
I mean, I think it's just so amazing how grateful they are. Granted, I do think they should be like, fuck the system, pay me more, obviously. But I think they're just so deprived of opportunities when they're in this prison complex and they're so forced to abide under what they're told and what they're given. The very limited amounts of things that they're given is that when they're given an opportunity like this, they're just so grateful and happy to be able to get out and go do something for the community and be able to reform themselves in some shape or form. And you know, this is why rehabilitation is so crucial. This is why rehabilitation works. When you look at the studies, rehabilitation is the best thing you can do to bring down recidivism. You look at something like Prop 47 in California, it's extremely successful because they take money, they take taxpayer money and they put it back into the community. They put it back into rehabilitation programs in all different kinds of forms, whether it's getting a job certificate, getting placed in housing, being able to get counseling, and being able to go to AA and being able to afford to life once you get out of prison. Something like Prop 47 in California was so fucking successful because it focused on rehabilitation rather than incarceration. It focused on, okay, what can we do to make you feel like you're an active and useful part of society? Because when you feel like you're helping people, you feel much better about yourself and you want to continue to do that. And it's proven so many times across so many different studies.
Crazy. They get paid $5 a day.
We're out there getting it.
No, I know,
But
it's
fires
goals,
would
what
be,
we're working
fires would
for,
be
you
so
know?
much larger if they weren't out here. They need to get paid an adequate wage. Right?
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, we get paid $5, $5.80 an hour.
You're over here like, oh, it's
No,
great.
not even. We get paid.
I love being in the fire.
$1 an hour. Actually. That was a mistake on my
You're
part.
gonna get a pay cut after this.
You oversold.
Yeah, we get paid $24 a day. So
Yeah.
I mean,
$24 a day.
Let me tell you this.
when we're on a fire.
Talk to me.
Did you guys know that there's you got the normal like the rest of the firefighters, right? They're also in the staging area over there somewhere.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you got that, and they get paid like the municipality gets paid like I think 98 grand or something. Like they get paid pretty well. They get
Very
good pensions,
well.
good benefits. They got unions. What would you say if I were to tell you that there's also private brigades on top of that, that really rich people like Rick Caruso, you know the Grove? You guys know what that is? Yeah, the Grove. It's a mall.
Very fancy shopping.
It's lame as fuck. Anyway, he owns the Grove. He's a real estate developer. So we hired private firefighters to protect the Grove. You know how you heard about the Palisades that got burned down? 75% of it's gone, except for Rick Caruso's mall in the middle of the Palisades. Why? Because he hired a private brigade. Those dudes are making $7,000 a day to do what you guys are doing. I don't want the fucking sheriff to hear me talking like this.
No, I think he'd encourage you to talk this way.
Yeah, $7,000 a day to do basically what you guys are doing.
Wow.
And think about that.
You know, and it's crazy. You know, it's a big pill to swallow. But in this case, the return that we get is our second chance at life. You know, this is a pilot program. You know, a lot of us made decisions before our brain was able to develop, before the age of 25. You know, so I mean, this is our second chance, and this is our second chance to prove it. And you know, at this point, it's a blessing. You know, it's not more about the material, but the growth that we gain from this experience.
I think it's important to talk about how there are obstacles though after you are released, where you have this training, right? You have this experience. You deserve to have this as a career, but you know it's still really difficult, even with legislation that's been passed to work at expunging records and make it easier to get hired in this career. Like it is still
the reintegration process is a little tricky, you know, and I believe it depends and it varies on the individual, you know, because circumstances are subject to change. But at the end of the day, I believe if you want to change and you want to get out there,
How long you guys got? If you don't mind me asking.
4 months, I'm out.
You got a year and a half left?
4 months, I'm out. 4 months, I'm out.
Okay.
I reside in the San Fernando Valley.
December?
Okay.
Okay.
How much time you have left? 2028.
Damn, it's gonna be a whole new president by then. Don't worry, none of us are making it out. None of us are making it out by 2020. Have y'all ever seen like YouTube videos of like a prison in Norway? Look it up.
There's a whole show called "The Worst Prisons in the World," right?
Yeah, America has the worst prisons in the world, bar none. Straight up. They say like, oh, Russian prisons are.
I don't know what Hasan's trying to do. I feel like he's trying to stage a coup. Hasan's like, listen, you need to demand for better. Go look at Norwegian prisons. Like, oh my god, what are you trying to do, my man? Are you trying to get them to coup the fucking prison? They're gonna pull his ass out. They're gonna be like, all right, man, you're talking too much. Get the fuck out.
Are bad, Turkish prisons are bad or whatever, but American prisons are obviously the fucking worst.
Terrible.
They're trying to implement that in California.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And they're privately owned industries.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, one problem is that, I mean, it's good that incarceration rates have gone down, but now they're like, oh shit, we have less people to use as firefighters. So it's now
They dip into the inmate.
Right, because they do rely on you guys so much.
Do you guys think that they know like the trauma that it causes?
What's that?
Like, do you guys think that they know the trauma that causes like?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, they don't give a shit. It's like
He's not lying.
They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit when you're out and doing stuff. You know
The reason why I
what
ask is because I mean you heard of the word institutionalized, right?
what?
Institutionalized. Have you heard that word before? Institutionalized, like.
Oh, institutionalized. Yeah.
So now I've only did it for like 12 years, 13 years, but the point is I'm about to go home next month. So you go from the cell to this right here. It's like it's culture shocking. So now I guess like the fire camp, bringing back light to the fire camp, right? It does help you because now you start like mingling with the public, with you guys, the civilians, right? Which is I feel foreign with you guys because I feel like I'm part of the prison. That's what I was. That's what they indoctrinated me to be.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted me to be. So like now they want you to get out here and then go to a fire camp and then act like if you're a firefighter. And we do get like minimum training, right? So how is it that you do that? How can I become a better civilian, a citizen, coming from prison to this? Like maybe you guys know something about that. Like, that's my biggest question. How do I?
I've been in jail.
You know what I mean? Like,
it was not.
Okay, what's normal to you guys?
overnight.
What's normal to you guys?
Are you asking like personally how
Right.
you make that transition?
Right.
I mean,
He asked a serious question. I made jokes. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No,
It's
no,
a
no.
job.
It's a job. It's a job.
I think what's key is having support, right?
Right.
So that that transition is easier. I mean,
Right.
I'm so happy he has Caroline with him because I feel like Hasan is just an unserious person. And like, honestly, I think when you stream news so many hours a day, you either go into like full-blown doomer pill or you have to crack jokes at fucked up shit in order to keep your sanity. So I'm really glad that Caroline's there because Caroline can just kind of like redirection so that the conversation can flow the way that it needs to.
you're right. When you spend so long in prison, then you either are on the path to being institutionalized or you're there. It is hard to transition out, and there is such a a lack of there is such a lack of support from the state. So I understand. I mean, that's neither of us have been in that situation before, so we can't speak from personal experience. But it's why like we are trying to bring attention to this and say, okay, like you're somebody who you have firefighting skills now, right? You've been there on the front lines. You've trained for this. Like, how great would it be?
I honestly think the answer should be you need family and community. There is no way you can, because you have to think about it. They're in the prison. They treat them like shit. They're constantly in fight or flight mode because no place in the prison is safe. You don't know what the fuck's about to happen. You've been eating shitty food for so many years. You haven't, most of the time you haven't had a phone and you haven't been connected with the outside world. And then they just kind of throw you into society. You know, like how do you do that? It's such a culture shock. And I feel like what I've seen, because I've known people that have gone through that, what I've seen really help them is them having a community and or family that they can lean on to. That is so crucial because without that, it's incredibly hard to actually become a part of society again. You know what I mean?
And how deserving are you of like having this as a career after you leave? So you don't have to, you know, struggle with job opportunities because you have a criminal record. And of course, we live in a country where that is an obstacle to you re-entering into society.
What kind of services do they have inside for like when you're about to leave, right? When you're about to get out? Do they have like retraining services or anything like that? They like connect you with job providers?
Right. So in camp, it's kind of minimal. Like they really don't. If it's it seems to me like if it's just Cal Fire, if it's not Cal Fire related, like you're just not what they're looking for. They're not going to put much effort into it. Now, you do have those individuals that do want to help you, right? But that's more because they're personalized with you and you kind of grow a bond with them over time. But as far as them like providing something for us specifically for not Cal Fire, there's really none. So that's like the thing.
So California State doesn't have any sort of like reintegration program.
California has MCRP program, and thank God for Scott Button, he's trying to integrate his ARC program. So MCRP is the reintegration program from being incarcerated to being on the outside. It's limited, but it's offering you a way to try to deinstitutionalize, but in a sense, it's kind of just keeping you on a leash. Sadly to say, but that's what it is. They do offer some programs, but they're very limited. Very limited because they're usually private-owned companies.
And they most likely have you do it yourself. Like when you're finna parole, they have you do your own parole.
Stand right here.
Talk to him.
I just want to say hello to my daughter right there. I haven't seen her in about 11 years. And yeah, I love you, baby. And hopefully I'll be out soon. And yeah, I miss you a lot. And hey, be good out there and teach your mom right, okay? I love you.
He's doing the Lord's work. He's protecting people in California right now, every day. What's your name?
My name is Salvador Serna. I'm out of Tulare County, and I miss everybody.
Nice to meet you. What, how much time you got?
I got about 6 months left.
Oh, hell yeah.
About
Okay.
6 months. Unfortunately, I came back on another term, but I'm very appreciative.
You didn't do this beforehand. You didn't do the Cal Fire program beforehand.
I've never done it before, but I'm hanging with a crew that's way younger than me, and man, they're all on fire, man, and I'm just running with the pack, man.
Tell them how you are, OG.
How many push-ups is OG doing?
I'm 53 years old, and I'm in with all these 20 and 30-year-olds. So
he's out there, man.
If I could do it, anybody could do it.
He's in the Wild P crew, so everybody in this crew is under 25.
Yeah.
Tell him, OG.
OG's under 25 too.
For sure.
In heart.
At heart.
At heart.
I've been walking in circles.
You know how fit of a 53-year-old you have to be able to do that in terrible air quality? That's crazy. I mean, if you're 25 or under, I can see that being doable, but 53, that's crazy. Also, his message was so cute to his daughter. Or his child, I don't know. That was really cute. I hope his child sees it.
For many years, so
All right.
I appreciate it very much. And thank you so much, man.
Of course. Nice to meet you, man. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Hey, thank you again.
Keeping the streets safe.
Yeah, doing my
And
best.
so he was asking like, why do we care? Like how we got involved, and like that's a long story, but
I try to explain to people all the time that are listening that they are closer to where you are, and I am closer to where you are than we are to a guy like Elon Musk or a billionaire or a multi-millionaire, owns multiple condos, properties.
Oh my god, I agree. I feel like not enough people talk about this. I really don't, because people will listen to what Taylor Swift says in a heartbeat, and I'm like, do you understand that you have virtually nothing in common with Taylor Swift? You literally have more in common with a homeless person. person than Taylor Swift and Beyonce. There's no parallels, babe. I know you are delusional and you want there to be, but there aren't. There just aren't any, okay? And people frown upon prisoners so much. It's like, dude, you are one wildfire away from being homeless, from having to drink alcohol to be able to sleep on the street, from getting your shit swept up in a fucking homeless sweep. You are so close, so much closer to that than your favorite fucking celebrity crush. Like, I don't understand why people do not understand this concept.
Like, obviously sometimes people don't have a good starting position in life, you know what I mean? And they get lost in the system. Like, no one is like truly evil. I mean, okay, there's some motherfuckers who are truly evil. But like, everybody has a story, everybody's a normal human being. Yeah.
A lot of good in people.
I remember.
It's more about maximizing potential,
breaking that stigma,
and a focus on rehabilitation. These sorts of programs are good for that, especially very important for that. Because everybody needs to be busy, bro. That's what it is. You know what I mean? If you're not busy, you're gonna go fucking crazy. Sitting around, looking at the same gray bars all fucking day. So obviously, I think breaking that pattern a little bit for you guys is, I assume, very helpful.
For sure.
Yeah. Bro, you have the Luffy scar. You know what that is? One Piece? It's an anime.
Always
It's a very famous anime, and the main character has the exact same scar that you have.
I might be related to
Yeah, probably.
So you spoke about like the rogue, like individualism, right? And I think we got to get kind of to like the collective identity or the collective mindset. And you spoke of like the race. And so my question is, how do we like bridge that gap to where we kind of like bring the people more together for that collective identity?
But I think overall, people should recognize that they have the exact same interest in life. Like, that's my principle, at least. I believe that everybody wants a hot meal, a roof over their head, you know what I mean, and a decent job, and maybe to get pussy on the weekends, and watch some fucking anime, play some video games. Yeah, so
shit you can say on Twitch, huh?
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, you can say.
This is such a bro-coded conversation. Like, this is where Hasan loses me because, like, he's spitting fire and then he says the most Chad bro shit that he possibly could. He's just a Chad bro at heart. He's a socialist Chad bro.
Say whatever you want.
Now you know what Twitch is. So.
But that's what everybody wants. And I think it's always the limitations of the system that cause people to not be able to achieve that in the most successful way. There is virtually nothing different between any of you guys and someone like myself, except for, like, I'm willing to bet that my beginning point is more affluent, more privileged. You know what I mean? That's it. Definitely. Like, I fucked up. I fucked up when I was a kid. I fucked up when I was a young adult. I mean, I got arrested. You know what I mean? Like, but the difference is I had a network to be able to rely on, to fall back to. And if that's taken from underneath you, if you don't have that support system, then some people end up falling through the cracks. You know? What's going on, Baker?
How you doing?
Williams, Hasan.
Nice to meet you.
Hasan, nice to meet you
Just
guys.
asking like what we're doing,
So
why we're
at
here.
Finner Canyon?
Yeah, Finner Canyon.
All right, where are you guys fighting right now?
I'm at the Eastern Fire right here past right here.
Oh yeah. How many tours have you done so far? How many seasons?
No, this is my third season.
Third season. Fourth season. Okay. God damn.
Is this the worst that you've ever seen?
I was on American Fire years ago, but yeah.
You like the program?
Program's good. Not enough pay, but the program's good.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why we're here to talk about.
What do you guys get right now? Like $24 a day or something?
Yeah, $24
That's
a
crazy.
day.
So what are the things that you guys are tasked with right now?
So there's levels to it. He gets paid $24 a day, but the previous people that he was interviewing who were juveniles who were people that started their sentencing as juveniles, they get paid $5 to $10 a day. So there's levels to it.
Now you're just clearing out?
Yeah, basically like clearing out brush, lemming up, fuel break, doing stuff like that.
One of the harder tasks, right?
A lot of strain on your body.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, it's all too within the mental as well too. Of course, hiking up the mountains, late night cold. It could be like 2 a.m. if a fire flare up. You know, you got to get back out there, jump in. So it's a lot going on.
Right now they're on break, right? They're doing 24 hours off. But when you're back out there, you sleep out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So they give you like what? Like they give you gear and then they give you like sleeping gear.
Pretty much what you got right here. Then you got your Nomex on, your Nomex shirt on.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all.
They don't give you any sleeping gear?
No, not on the mountains. Not on the mountain. So like I say, because you could be out there scraping break a line or a night, you know, whatever it may be, trying to get a fire out. Yeah, so you can be able to drag
What
in
kind
that.
of protective gear do you have? I mean, I can't imagine
For
that
like
you're
a
gonna-
shroud, you know,
Pretty much same here in Cal Fires where we have. Pretty much
He said they have to sleep in what they go up in. That's crazy in the middle of the mountain. I don't know about you, but there's no way I could sleep in the mountain with just my jacket and my pants and my shoes. That's diabolical. Not even a sleeping bag? Not even a fucking sleeping bag or a blanket or a pillow?
the same gear, just in a different color. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it orange or is it yellow, right?
Orange.
Is it orange? Yeah.
And then as soon as you guys are done, they escort you.
Yeah, so as soon as we
back.
done, we're gonna go back to the bus, rehab our tools, sharpen them up, be fire ready. Be fire ready for like, you know, we get called to another fire or whatever it may be.
Why did you decide to join the program 3 years ago or 4 years ago?
I'm be honest, when I first joined it, I just did it for like the time reduction, but once I started doing it, I kind of liked it. But once I get released, I won't do it though, because like I said, it's just too much going on for like the breathing and the, you know, as far as the air, different chemicals and stuff like that. And as far as I know, some other captains that I talked to, basically they said like it's just a long-term, you know, health condition, you know, as far as just breathing in all the different chemicals and stuff.
You guys get any medical after? Like any medical attention?
No, they asked us, do we need like, you know, as far as like if anybody got hurt, anybody get injured, any medical conditions. But you know, if it ain't really like, you know, as far as like you got really hurt on the fire line, sprained ankle, none of that type of stuff, you kind of just like go back to, you know, working the next day. Like you say, the 24-hour down, 24-hour up. But you're not really getting a full 24-hour down. You know, you don't get the 24-hour on the line for fighting fire, but you're not getting a full 24-hour down because you got to come back, you got to shower. You gotta go to eat, you know, you gotta go to get lunches, you know.
It's also a lot of noise, a lot of activity.
A lot of stuff going on. They gotta go to briefing, you know, get the assignment, you know, so it's a lot that's going on.
Are you guys staying in these tents?
We're staying in these tents.
Are they nice?
Nice.
Are they better than prison?
Yeah, absolutely better than prison.
God damn, prison sucks.
You know they go back to a camp after this.
Yeah, we go back to the camp.
Yeah,
so we don't go back to prison, so we left the
we're
prison
in camp,
yard. So we go back to camp. So our camps be like, you know, maybe staging. I mean, our camps in like Palmdale. So
Palermo, California, actually.
So I want to ask you why you joined the program.
I did it 14 years ago. When I came back last year, my points was low, and I said, instead of going to the yard, I said, send me to camp. So yeah. I was Carlsberg 12 years ago. I was in Carlsberg fire camp 12 years ago.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I came back to jail. Instead of going to a regular prison yard, I said, send me to camp.
Are you wanting to pursue firefighting like
I
when
wouldn't
you're
mind, but I'm
released
56
again?
years old. I'm 56.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it with the youngsters.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but I still, you know, for my age, I still get up that mountain, so I wouldn't mind doing it. And they say California don't have an age limit, so you know, it's up in there.
Yeah, doing this work at 56 is insane to me. Like, that, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And the fact that they said that those tents are better than prison, you're telling me that a camp in front of a bunch of porta potties, a tent in front of a bunch of porta potties is better than prison out in the wild. That's crazy.
There right now with me.
How much time we got?
I go on March 15th.
I go home in July.
Okay.
Yeah, so
What's the first thing you do when you get out?
Drink a beer.
What kind of beer?
Modelo.
Okay, there you go.
Modelo.
What about you?
see my grandmother.
She in California?
Yeah, she in California, so I'm gonna see her because I just did, right now I'm putting like 10.5 years. So I've been incarcerated 10.5 years. So I'm I go home in July.
How old are you?
32.
You're 32?
Yeah, came in at 21.
Young as hell. I'm 33. Look way younger than me.
He's looking for another person to tell him that he looks.
Okay, stop. Thanks a lot for sharing your story, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let me ask you something. Do you feel like it's the pay, or is the fact that you get training and you get to do something, or is the fact that you get shaved time off your sentence, or out of all of these 4 things that I've had to mention, which one is the most important for you? Which one's the best thing for you? The fact that you stay at camp, where it's like obviously a much more humane situation than like being in prison. Out of all of those factors, which one do you think is the most impactful?
What I would choose myself, I'd rather do 2 to 5 years at camp than, 2 to 5 years in Jamestown. I do 1 year at Jamestown. I'd rather do twice that. Whatever I'm doing at camp, I would take that over anything. The pay's cool. It helps pay off the restitution. It makes you feel like you're earning a little dollar.
Yeah.
But that's not. And we're getting they're upping the pay on stuff. From the last time I was in camp, it was like your grade pay was like half of what it is now.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's still crazy. $25 is unacceptable.
It's not. But it's
those wages are ridiculous.
The time it's a hard one between the time, man. But I had to, just being at camp itself. I'm learning self-discipline. You're teaching yourself how to work hard. To get up there and to go up there and cut for 5, 6, 7 hours, you're like sitting there. You're whooped. You've ran a whole Domar of gas, and you're just like, I gotta go hike up this mountain now, and then it's a mind thing. It's something to train yourself. I'm gonna tell you, this is the hardest work I've ever done, and I've worked my whole life. Remodeled log homes, I mean, a lot of construction, handyman.
Where you from originally?
I'm from Tulare County.
What about you? Where are you from? Bakersfield. Oh, you're from Bakersfield. Okay.
If you got a good attitude about this place, man, and regardless, like, I mean, everybody comes from a different walk of life. This is a place where we can all come and agree on, like, we're gonna go work hard today. We're all on the line. You're all brothers. I mean, you're all got each other's backs, no matter what race, ethnicity.
He was saying that Scott is bringing in. He got Coachella to donate some like mobile showers for these guys because they haven't been able to shower in 5 days.
Yeah, they just really showed up today. The mobile showers just got here today.
Yeah. It was a situation that they had told us. Somebody on the Cal Fire said that they don't want no inmates using their showers. That's why we had to walk all the way around, and then we just got turned around when we were just gonna go shower. We still ain't showered yet.
Oh, isn't that one shower unit way over there?
Yeah.
Wow.
They took our unit. Remember, it was right here.
Yeah, they took our unit and then told us that they don't want no inmates in their showers, so we still haven't showered yet. So
Those guys messed up.
got Coachella to donate us our own mobile shower unit. That way we don't have to go this. I'm off of 24 just from yesterday, still ain't showered or been asleep today.
Wait, the fact that they don't have their own mobile showers, like, what the fuck? No, seriously, what the fuck? A state like California that likes to boast about how progressive we are and all the things that we do that's great for humanity, that's kind of insane that they don't have showers for people that are quite literally hiking for hours up in tough terrain and fighting these intense fires. Like, can you imagine the amount of sweat and must on you? Like, that's the bare minimum is food, shower, and lodging, and a bathroom. And they can't even give that. That's crazy.
How long you been going into the fight?
24 up, 24 down. So just like yesterday, we spent the whole 24 hours on the fire line. We're supposed to have 24 hours to rest today. We'll be back tomorrow, 24 hours, and it just rotates like that.
We usually, because this is a fed fire now. Remember, it's a state fire. We'll do a completely different cut. We'll do a way more bigger cut. We'll do a 10-foot cut with a 4-foot scrape. But these guys, they have us doing a smaller one right now. They just have us doing a 6-foot cut with a 2-foot scrape.
Yeah, so yesterday we went in with an 8-foot cut and a 4-foot scrape.
Yeah.
It depends on which fire you're at and where you're at.
They had us trenching the whole way up, the whole way, and I'm second Pulaski. Yeah. I'm swinging my arms all day. Oh man.
I'm on the saw, bro, and I've never cut that much in my life, bro.
So you got weights, you don't got a PS4, but you got a TV?
Yeah, we got TV.
You guys get internet access or no?
No.
No internet access.
They don't want us to have that.
Why not?
I don't know. Well,
We're still
incarcerated people, so we're limited.
You're still a person?
Tell me about it.
It's a human right.
All right, guys, I love this interview, but I feel like it's getting a little repetitive. So I want to talk about, I kind of want to react to the Fox News interview that Hasan did.
You've been watching our coverage. You've seen some of the firefighters that are out on the front lines are actually inmate crews, incarcerated firefighters. Hasan Piker is one of the top streamers on Twitch. He's actually streaming live on Twitch right now. Hello to his streaming audience. He is also a progressive pundit, and he spent time, went out, and met some of these incarcerated firefighters, streamed live with them, and learned a lot from talking to them. Hasan, good to see you. Welcome.
It's good to be back, Alex. Thank you for having me.
Talk to us about what you learned meeting these firefighters.
Yeah, so approximately at any given moment when there's wildfires happening in wildfire season in California, there's around 30% of the people fighting those wildfires are incarcerated firefighters. The California State and Cal Fire have a collaborative program with the Forest Service where they basically train some of the incarcerated at what they call camps, conservation camps, where they learn how to clear brush and reach areas that bulldozers can't get to by foot. It's a lot of trekking. They're going and putting their lives on the line basically to ensure that Californians are safe during wildfire season. I met a now friend, Scott Budnick, who is a Hollywood producer. He produced Hangover, Project X, and Old School, and many other projects. He actually started this thing called the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. And I found out that he was actually working with the governor and also simultaneously expanding these programs. And I got to meet some of the youth offenders. This is a camp pilot program that they just started in 2023, where they, for the first time ever, are bringing in youth offenders, young offenders that have been incarcerated under the age of 25.
I'm sorry. I love watching Hasan when he streams, but like when he's on formal interviews, you can't unhear it. He says so many times, and he does kind of ramble on. Like, I've been streaming for long enough to know this about him. Okay, so I knew this was about to happen. He's very streamer coded. Like, he's not for traditional news at all.
Or committed crimes under the age of 25 that are now part of this training program as well. And I mean, it was an incredible experience overall. And one of the things that I was kind of shocked by is the fact that these guys just kept asking, like, why do you care about us? Why are you here? Like, they were shocked at this level of attention there, because they don't have access to the news as readily available. So they're not exactly aware that, like, there are a lot of people in the civilian population that's talking about these guys right now. And one of the things that struck me was the fact that they understand that these are very dangerous conditions that they're putting themselves into, but they really are appreciative of the fact that they get a semblance of dignity and a way to help with these communities that they're a part of. So it was truly a tremendous experience overall.
Yeah,
and very eye-opening.
And we talk about people going behind bars. Most people that go behind bars are eventually released, and so you want there to be a rehabilitation process so that they come out potentially even stronger than when they came in. And I know for you, you were really struck by the sense of hope that these guys felt.
Yeah, so it's not a secret that the county jail structure and the prison structure in the state is pretty bad overall. Like, the conditions are pretty bad overall. There's a lot of violence. There are major problems. And from what I understand, aside from the fact that being able to...
You know what? I need to see what the comments are saying. I'm very curious. What kind of irritates me about this interview is that I feel like Fox News has the resources to go out in the field themselves. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy Hasan is getting this recognition. Even I talked about him on my Twitter and my TikTok and my Instagram, whatever. I'm very happy he's getting this recognition. That's not what I'm against. I'm just kind of annoyed because I feel like local news is being a little lazy. They're just like, oh, you know what? This guy went out there, so we'll just interview him. When in my opinion, it would be much more impactful and set a better practice for other local media. If you go there, you have a segment that's very successful that goes viral, and then that'll teach other local media that this is something that people want to see, and then they're more inclined to go too, rather than just like, you know what, this dude did it, we're just gonna have him come on and say a couple words and then we're gonna get on with it. Did Fox News just hope that these offenders would get the help they need? They didn't word it exactly like that, but it's close enough. So I think what you guys don't realize is that there's a huge difference between Fox News Local and Fox News International. So Fox News Local is neutral. They're not like Jesse Water pilled. They're kind of like watching ABC or NBC. It's almost the same thing.
To being able to volunteer for these programs allow these inmates to shave off some of their very long sentences. It also gives them an opportunity to train and potentially an opportunity for gainful employment after they're out, after they're released. And there have been a lot of initiatives to make sure that this is as ethical of a process as possible, especially in recent years. In the past, a lot of these firefighters, a lot of the incarcerated firefighters could only get seasonal employment, and they could never get municipal employment in the Los Angeles Fire Department because if you have a felony, you're not able to get an EMT certification. And if you can't get an EMT certification, you can't become a municipal firefighter. But nowadays, they're working on expunging some of the records as well for demonstrating good behavior and service for the community. And I think it's wonderful because one of the things that I heard from virtually every single person there was the anxieties that they had as far as what they will do once they are released. What they like, how will they find an opportunity to reintegrate into society? This is something that obviously I read extensively on. There's a lot of data available on this, but it was truly interesting just seeing it in person, where these guys were also talking about the anxieties that they have about like wanting to become productive members of society. And this program, I think, is fantastic. And there are still some issues, of course, specifically around their wages. I think since the 80s, they had not seen any meaningful wage increases.
Right.
I believe they were getting around $5 a day. And they're doing basically the same thing that everyone else in CAL FIRE is doing as well. One of the hardest jobs on the line, basically. And now that wage has been increased to $24 a day, and I feel like it's a wonderful opportunity for reintegration. It's a wonderful opportunity for rehabilitation, and the conditions of the camps are significantly better overall than the conditions of the prisons. But having said that, I think that there's still room to grow.
Yeah.
This program could grow as well, and hopefully their wages can be fair in terms of adequate compensation.
Sure.
Because utilizing incarcerated firefighters as a way to displace the existing non-incarcerated firefighters is also, lowering the wages of non-incarcerated firefighters.
Hasan.
I think that watching that interview with Fox was a little painful just because I've said this before. I think Hasan does need some media training. We love him, but he's a little streamer brained, you know what I mean? But I do think that was a very, Hasan did do something that I've never seen mass media do, and it's giving incarcerated folks a voice. We talk about prison inmates and we talk about how they work on fighting these fires and how they're such a critical part of, being able to, give people back their livelihoods and stop these fires, but we never actually give them credit. We don't pay them well either. We don't give them a voice. We don't televise their struggles. And someone like Hasan arguably has much more reach, in my opinion, than local news or even at times people who are on the national level. And I think him going to these prison camps with someone like Caroline Kwan was a great option because they balance each other out really well. I just think it was a really good thing to do I think it gave inmates the humanity that they deserve and they're not given. And I think that's so important. But anyways, thanks for watching. My name is Ariana Jasmine. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time.